Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's going to be my first Halloween tutorial and I'm really excited. So I wanted to do a voiceover and explain to you guys what I'm doing. I started off by taking my Wet n Wild eyeshadow primer, priming my lids, and then I also went in with some tape because I wanted this look to be super cut and nice and sharp. So for shadow, I'm going to be taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. I'm just taking the color Tempera with a big fluffy shadow brush from Sigma, placing that all over our lid to kind of set our primer. And then I'm going to go in with the color Burnt Orange on a Morphe E27 brush. This is a really nice fluffy crease brush, and just kind of placing that above my crease and kind of in the sockets of my crease to kind of create a good guideline for the rest of our eye makeup. Moving on to add a little color, I'm taking the color Red Ochre on a Morphe E28 brush. This is a little bit more of a tapered crease brush. As you can see, it's a little bit smaller and it tapers upwards towards the tip. And I'm taking that color directly in my crease, placing it a little bit below that first color Burnt Orange we placed on our crease. So this is just going to go right in and create a little bit more dimension and definition to our eyes. Next color I'm taking is the color Love Letter while on a Morphe M503 brush. This is a really nice dense kind of crease brush, and I'm placing that right on the outer V, but placing that in my crease on the outer third of my eye, and I'm kind of blending it inwards towards the middle of my eye, as you can see there. And then last color, we're going to be taking the color Cypress Amber, which is the darkest color in the palette, on a Morphe M506 brush, and this color is pretty much going in our outer third. As you can see, I'm going to be blending it inwards just a little bit up into my crease and a little bit on my lid, but we're keeping most of the pigmentation of this color right on the outer third. I wanted to use a base before I put on some glitter, so I'm taking this NYX Cosmetics GLAM Shadow Stick in the color Yellow Diamond. This is not a necessary step if you're using a glitter like I'm going to be doing very soon, but I thought it would be nice just to kind of cut the crease a little bit where I want to place that glitter precisely, and it's a really good guideline for what I'm going to be doing next, but this is not a necessary step. You can do whatever you want on your lid if you want to leave it like this or add some glitter. So the glitter I'm using today is by Revlon. It's one of their Photo Ready Eye Arts. This one is in the color Desert Dazzle number 80, and I'm only using the glitter side of this product. This is a really wet product. It was kind of messy. I kind of do wish I used just a regular glitter with a glitter glue, but this is a really good alternative step if you want to use something that's not as messy as a regular glitter glue. This is going to be messy still because it's a super wet product, and you'll see me having to fan my eyes to let it dry, or else it'll go in your creases, and that is not cute. So make sure it dries before you move on. I'm going to be taking some NYX Cosmetics matte liquid liner in the color Black and creating a wing, just something I like doing, especially when I still have my tape on, as a good guideline. It makes it so much easier. Let me tell you guys, I still struggle with my wing when I don't have tape on, so make sure you keep your tape on if you're using something like that to kind of help you with your wing, and once you take the tape off, it is good to go. You don't have to mess it up or fix it or anything like that. So before I put on some lashes, I'm taking my Roller Lash Mascara by Benefit, just prepping my lashes for my falsies, and the ones I'm using today are by Koko lashes. They're in the style Stella. These are really gorgeous, really like dramatic and fluttery yet still spiky lash, which is exactly what I wanted. Now moving on to the face, I'm first going to moisturize my skin like always with my Sephora Collection 8-Hour Mattifying Moisturizer. This is a necessary step for me. I do it in every single tutorial. The next product I'm using for priming my face is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Smoothing Primer. This is awesome if you have a bunch of big pores or fine lines you want to smooth out, and it creates a beautiful base for your foundation. Today for this look, I really wanted a full coverage foundation, so I'm going with my current favorite right now. This is by Kat Von D. It's their Lock It Tattoo Foundation. This covers every single thing on your face. No joke, I have a bunch of acne scars right now, and this covers everything. It's so good. It's so full coverage. I do have a first impression and review on this if you're interested on my channel, but I love this foundation. It keeps me matte. It keeps my oils at bay. I love it so much. It's one of my favorites. Moving on to concealer, I'm taking my Holy Grail drugstore concealer. This is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I love this. I was actually scraping out every single thing I could out of this little tube because I'm almost out of it. I'm blending it out with a Morphe G2 brush, and I just placed that concealer where I wanted to highlight my face, so I placed it on my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, a little bit on my chin, and then in an upside down triangle motion under my eyes. I love this concealer because it's so full coverage, yet it feels so lightweight on the skin, just like the foundation, which I want full coverage but not something super heavy. So I love that concealer, and I love setting it with, of course, my Laura Mercier translucent powder. So I'm just taking a contour brush from Real Techniques and actually placing that powder right under my eyes, and I actually placed it everywhere else I put that concealer to make sure it's going to stay all day and all night. You're going to make sure you want your makeup to last all night long, especially when you go trick-or-treating and stuff. So I also set my face with my Lock-It translucent powder from Kat Von D with my big powder brush from Real Techniques. I love this powder. You guys have heard me talk about it in a bunch of my videos. It's my absolute favorite right now. It looks beautiful on the skin. To contour today, I'm taking my Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Palette. I'm taking the darkest shade actually because I wanted something super dramatic yet still something somewhat natural, if that makes sense. So I'm taking the shade. I'm going to blend it out, of course, as you're going to see later on, but it looks pretty harsh right now. I love this shade because it does look very natural, but it still gives your cheeks that like Halloween contour look, if that makes sense, which is definitely what I was going for. So I place that in the hollows of my cheekbones, on the temples of my head, and then a little bit down the bridge of my nose to make my nose look a little bit more slim. And then next for blush, I'm going with the NARS Dual Intensity Blush in the color Vengeful, which is I think a limited edition color from the Stephen Klein collection, so I'm sorry, but just take anything that's definitely more like a berry bright red. I'm kind of going along with the eye look to kind of put everything together and make sure everything looks cohesive and all that kind of jazz. For highlight, this is my favorite part. I'm taking the new Colourpop holographic highlighter in the color Over the Moon. This is beautiful. Oh my gosh, this is the coolest holographic highlighter you guys will ever see, and I love that it's a cream. It has so much glitter in it. It reflects like purple, blue, pink. It's so beautiful. So I'm placing that on the high points of my cheekbones and a little bit down the bridge of my nose. And then what I wanted to do is I wanted to amp it up just a little bit, and I'm taking a mixture of a bunch of different colors in this Moonchild Glow Kit from Anastasia on my Anastasia A23 brush, and I'm just like going ham and going to town on my face with all these colors. I want it to be very colorful yet still kind of muted, if that makes sense. I don't know what I was going for. I was just playing, which was really fun. I first went in to highlight the inner corners of my eyes with this, but you'll see later on that I actually went in a little bit later because I wasn't happy with it. Now for the fun part. I was not really sure about this part, but I actually liked how it turned out at the very end. I'm taking this face paint kit from CC Beauty. I actually bought it on Amazon, which is like a dupe for the Makeup Forever Flash palette. It was like $20 honestly, and the Makeup Forever one was like, I think it's like $99. So I'm taking this, I'm taking the white shade and then the silver shade, which I did not like the silver shade at all. It was very chunky and was really hard to work with. But I'm just taking my makeup brush and using the very bottom of it and dipping my brush in the color and then placing that color on my top of my brows. And it was just kind of an easy way to kind of create a circle, so I didn't have to draw circles on my eyebrows because I'm not very coordinated. So this was super easy for me and I liked how it turned out. It was absolutely beautiful. Now to finish off the eyes, I'm going back in with my Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia. I'm just taking that Cypress Umber shade on a Morphe M432 brush and I'm placing that on the inner 2/3 of my lower lash line and just kind of smoking it out. And that's the only shade we're going to use on our lower lash line because we're going to keep it super simple. And again, I don't know where I was going with this, but I took a mixture of red ochre, Venetian red, and the color Love Letter on a Morphe M503 brush, and I'm just placing that in an upside down triangle motion underneath my eyes in the middle of my lower lash line. I used a really light hand with these shadows because they're super pigmented, but I kind of wanted to look like a eye drop or, I don't know, a teardrop or something going down my eyes. So I just kind of created again that upside down triangle motion and really just buffed it out and made it super soft because I didn't want it to look too harsh. Now going back in with that face paint kit from CC Beauty, I'm taking the black shade on a face painting eye brush. This is like a really skinny pencil brush or like liner brush. I got these off of Amazon. I'll link everything I use down below. You can find them at Michael's too. I just placed that kind of down my eye with the black paint, kind of shadowing and following that same shadow we just put on. And I kind of want it to look like tears again. I really don't know where I was going with this, but I don't know. I feel like it turned out very good at the end. So again, I'm just going to be placing a couple more little lines on my face. I'm not going to be dragging it all the way from my lash line, but I'm going to be leaving a little bit of a space between my lash line and that black line, and then I'll be placing a couple little dots underneath those. I wanted to mimic more of those little white dots, so I did the same technique with that same white paint and then just placed them variously all over my face. I did 4. You can do however many you want. This is totally up to you. and you can be as creative as you want. I really liked how it turned out though. I think it was really cool, and it really did help kind of pull everything together from on top of the brow. Now going back in with the Revlon Photo Ready Eye Art, I'm gonna again add some more glitter. I don't know why I decided to do this, but I wanted to look like glitter tears, so I'm just gonna be taking that. Again, I think it would be easier to do a loose glitter with this because it kind of dried crackly and crumbly, which was a little bit of a mess, but I feel like it would last a long time if you're going to be going out. But if you are using a loose glitter, make sure you use a glitter glue because then it will stay all night long. Like I told you guys before, I wanted to go back in for my inner corner and use this Jessie's Girl pigment. This is in the color Pixie Dust. It's so pretty. I actually use this a little bit later on for my lips as well, but I wanted something a little bit more pizzazzy and more glamorous looking than just the highlighter. So I used that, and then I also went in with some crystals from Swarovski. I think that's how you say it. I got these from Michael's and used my little tweezers and some House of Lash lash glue, which is thebomb.com if you want to just place anything on your face that you don't have glue for. Lash glue is a really good option, and it's not going to harm your face as well. I have really sensitive skin, and this did not do anything to me, so that is awesome. So as you can see, I placed those in the inner corners of my eyes, right out near my liner, and then on the bottom of that main teardrop. For lips, I knew I wanted to do a black lip the entire time when I was planning out this tutorial, so I bought the Jordana Sweet Cream Matte Liquid Lip Color online. This is in the color Witchy Night. I was not able to find these in my local drugstores, which is sucky, but this is a limited edition color, and it's amazing for how inexpensive it is. And again, I wanted to take that eye dust in the color Pixie Dust on the inner part of my lips to kind of give it a little bit more dimension. And then last but not least for the look, I'm taking a flash tattoo. I did do this backwards on purpose because I liked having the sun before the moon. You can do whatever you want to the top. Some people like using face paint, but I'm not that coordinated. So I wanted to do a flash tattoo and then set it with my Lock-It translucent powder. And that is it for this look. I hope you all really enjoyed it. Make sure you finish it all with some big hoops, some fun jewelry, a headpiece, and you are good to go. I hope you all have a very fun and safe Halloween. Share your looks with me on Instagram and Twitter. I love you all so much. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!